Now, the second part of this video is going to be very short and very simple. Essentially, I want you to understand a little bit about the history of the publication of the meditations, what we have, and I want to make a little nod of the head in the direction of I think, a great scholar of the 17th century whose contributions to the development of knowledge cannot possibly be measured and are extremely significant. And this is a priest, a Catholic priest, so Catholics did some positive things as well, didn't just condemn Galileo. Mersenne, a French Catholic priest based in Paris who knew Descartes quite well. Now, Mersenne made it his mission to know what everybody was doing in the Latin-speaking world in terms of natural philosophy, or what we today would call scientific research. Now, we are existing at a time that before scientific journals exist. So basically, if scholars wish to communicate their results before they publish them, they had to simply write letters to one another. Now, Mersenne was just simply a genius in learning what everybody was doing from Poland to Spain, from Great Britain to southern Italy. And if two people were working on the same problem in different parts of this Latin-speaking Western Europe, he would put them into contact. The number of important discoveries that we owe to Mersenne simply cannot be measured, thanks to the fact that he himself wasn't doing the discoveries, but he was putting into contact and people who were doing the discoveries and who would inspire one another because they were doing very similar work and would share a very similar passion for what they were exploring. Now, when Descartes was ready to publish the meditations, he showed the meditations to Mersenne, and Mersenne noticed that the work was relatively short. It's about 70 pages according to the edition. So what he decided to do was to circulate it among the great scholars of Western Europe at the time. Some of these people are still known, like Thomas Hobbes. Others are more forgotten, like Pierre Gassendi or Antoine Arnauld, but well known to scholars. And each of these scholars made objections to the meditations, and Descartes then responded to those objections. And a point of fact, this is the major part of the work. If I bring down the actual reference text of the meditations, you can see, here we go. The text would look like this. This is the meditations that we are reading. These are the objections and the responses, the vast majority of the text. And it is a delightful read to come to understand and to see these scholars argue with one another and exchange in exactly the same sort of way that Mersenne would push them towards. I've enjoyed reading that part of the meditations a lot, and it shows a lot. It gets very deep into the mentalities and the theories on offer of the day. And you see Mersenne once again playing his role brilliantly of putting people into contact. In the next generation, I might add, scientific journals began to be published in the late 1660s. So precisely inspired by Mersenne's work, we end up with the academic journal that we know of today. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the notes on Descartes and then the preliminary documents and the first meditation.